welcome to my review of the Fuji Son Gta. I'm quite looking forward to getting this bad boy. Unfortunately, when I received it, it did have a fault with the single post deck, so I've been able to have a play with that. I've swapped out the O-rings, and it's a beauty. So I'm going to dive down in a minute. We'll have a closer look at the tank. It's not going to be a build tutorial. I'm going to show you how to wick it. A lot of people know how to install coils. So basically we're going to talk you through what's there, talk you through the wicking, and then we'll come back up and I'll give you my final thoughts. See you in a bit. Right, so we are down now. Going to take a look at the Fuji Son Gta. So you get your new warnings now with the TPD coming in. This product contains nicotine, which is highly addictive, and the disclaimer saying only if it's filled with a nicotine-containing liquid. So you've got all your bits on the back. Interchangeable build decks. You get a single and a dual. I had a fault with my single deck, build deck, so that's going back to be replaced. So that's where the dual would normally be, the single would be installed. So you get a spare glass, there's your tank, and then underneath you get your manual, spare O-rings, grub screws, you get the Watofo key, but yeah, with all the little bits on, and an instruction manual. But that's not what we're looking to look at. We're going to have a look at this bad boy. I swapped the O-rings out for red ones, it didn't come like that. So you've got your Del Rim chuff cap. I'm always a little bit worried of these with the threading because it is Del Rim onto stainless steel, and I'm sure over time there's a possibility they could get chewed out, but only time will tell really. So this, to split this, you just unscrew. I'll show you the airflow as well, it's there. You've got one on either side, so two in total. Unscrews, and there we have a beautiful shiny build deck. You see you've got your chamber, your glass, all comes away, easily cleanable. Put that over there. And then we have shiny, gold plated build deck. Gold plated 510 pin, it's all one piece, and they're that easily changeable. You just grab either side and it unscrews out. Just like that. And then you can put the single one in and it screws in. And the airflow comes up by the 510 pin here, so obviously through the bottom and up through there, and then straight onto the coils. And I've got some 28 gauge inner 28 gauge core aliens in there. 6 wraps are coming in at 0.18 from Mr. Miller at FA Vaping. And there we have her. So I've already got these installed, they're glowing. I've done that prior because most people now know how to build coils. It's not a coil tutorial. We're just going to wick this bad boy up. That's on my DNA only 167, my new one. So some Ivy UK cotton, as you guys well know. Anyone that's seen my reviews before or knows me, I swear by this stuff. I'm gonna just cut this up straight down the middle. So I think the principle of this tank really, it's like an RDTA with the wicking system, and the difference is the tank sits in the middle, the chamber sits in the middle of the tank, and you feed your wicks just below the base and it feeds from the bottom. So you can see that, got a little twist. There we go. plenty there. Spin that bad boy around. There's a little bit too much cotton on this side. Poor cutting by myself, so I'm just going to trim a bit off. So we have the same amount of cotton. Same again. Excuse the state of my fingers, the joys of being a chef. My hands are a mess. Loose bit there. And having chubby fingers certainly doesn't help. That's for sure. So pull that through. See, it's not overly tight. That's how it should be. Right, so obviously there's far too much cotton here. You need to trim your cotton to just below the deck. So happy with that. Same again there. We'll get rid of the wispy bits in a minute. Same again. And same again. So there we have a cotton cut here. We're just going to trim this one down a little bit more. And some juice. I will be using some Screw It by Lonnie Vaco. So I'm going to juice the wicks up. And juice this one up as well. See that? Always give your coils a good juice. Let's see, there, the wicks are about the same. One more wispy bit. Right, so I'm now going to juice these up a bit more so we can manipulate them into place. Of course, if they're dry, you won't be able to mould them in, it will just pop out again. Right. So there we go. So then you've got your wicking channels on the corners, and that's where we're going to tuck the wicks in now. Right, so tuck that down there. Don't want to compact the cotton too much because you're going to interfere with the wicking. So right there I can see is a little bit too much. So you can always correct as you go. It doesn't hurt. No. Oops, out of shot. It's a little bit too much there. I'm going to take a bit off.
Said I was at high risk. I mean, the good thing is I'm got a second chance to make some changes.
A bit. It's going to take a little bit off that as well, so you don't want too much. Right, and there we have it. So you need to make sure your wicks are clear of the threads. Just checking it's not getting caught anywhere. You can always go backwards and then take it forwards. There we go. Oh, I haven't seen any of that. Screwing that together, and then there we have it. Let's chuck some juice in it. So it holds 4 millilitres of Lidl's. And there we have the Digi flavour GTA. So let's go back up top and have a vape, and I'll give you my final thoughts. And there you have it. That's the Fuji Son GTA. It looks pretty neat. I've got it on my only 167. I don't know if you can see that. They're 0.17 coils. I'm only running them at 65 watts. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting tank. I think the draw's a little bit restrictive for me. I quite like a nice airy draw. I'm a big lover of the iJoy Tornado. You've got oodles of airflow on that. Although you've got nice big airflow ports, you're restricted by the airflow chimney that's actually in the pin. So, in turn, it does make for a very tight draw. I mean, this is the dual build deck now, obviously. The tank does get quite warm. So I'm only running that at 65 watts. Flavour's nice, flavour's on point. Very, very easy to build on. Velocity decks you can't go wrong with. The wicking's pretty simple. You don't want too much, otherwise it's going to take ages. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but the wicking bubbles. They are popping up nice and freely. So there's enough space around the chamber. And as you can see, it's floating. So you've got your cotton just sitting at the bottom here. So it's similar to an RDTA, but obviously it's in a tank. So it's the Genesis tank atomizer, as they say. So obviously your chamber's sitting in the middle. But I'm quite happy with it. I'm quite happy. Pros, easy to build on, fairly easy to wick. I haven't had any leakage yet. Nice flavour. And it looks pretty sweet. It does look pretty sweet. I'm into my black and red at the moment. Cons for me would have to be airflow. Even when you fiddle with the airflow dial, even when you go halfway, it's still the same sort of draw, because it's such a confined space for it to draw air through. It doesn't really make a difference. It's only when you start going below halfway that you really start to notice the airflow, and obviously it's a tighter draw with less airflow. The heat. Once I've had a play with the single deck, maybe the heat won't be an issue. It does get very, very warm, and it's not a high wattage. But it's not a bad tank. Will I retire my iJoy Tornado that I love so much? Probably not. Will this be my arsenal of tanks? Most definitely. This will not sit on the shelf and gather dust. I really can't wait to get the single deck and have a play with that. I think that was what his main intention was, really, is the single coils in there. I think it will be terrific. But that's that's really about it for me. Definitely worth picking one up. They're available on most online shops. I've seen them on quite a few. That's about it really. I'm not going to bore you with loads of spiel. So that's me done and dusted. The Fuji Son Gta. Pick yourself one up. It's fully worth it. There we go, guys and girls. Dave-O from Modern Vapors checking in. Thanks for joining me, and keep them cloudy.